All right, so the last story here, the U.S. to expand its naval base in Papua New Guinea. So the U.S. is expanding a naval base in Papua New Guinea as part of its military buildup in the Asia Pacific that's being done to prepare for a future war with China. So the U.S. signed a defense cooperation agreement with Papua New Guinea last year that gives the U.S. military unimpeded access to 2 ports, 3 airports, and the Lombrom Naval Base. So this naval base, the U.S. Navy is planning 3 projects there. They're going to build a regional maritime training center, a small boat and bosun facility, and they're going to overhaul a 118-foot-long deteriorated small boat jetty. And these projects are estimated to cost somewhere between $11 million and $25 million. And the Trump administration actually announced back in 2018 that they would help expand this naval base in Papua New Guinea. And this was seen as a response to China's infrastructure projects in the region. The administration never allocated any funds for the project, so it hasn't happened yet. But now they're going to go through with this. And again, this is a base now that the U.S. military has access to. And the U.S. is saying that this project will support Papua New Guinea's military. So if you look at the map here, you see Papua New Guinea is just north of Australia. So it's pretty far from China, but these, the U.S. is expanding bases and reclaiming runways that the jungle took over, World War II era runways that the jungle took over. And this is all about planning for war with China. And they're very explicit about this. And the quote that I always use is from General Kenneth Wilsbach. And he's the former head of U.S. Pacific Air Forces, so he was in charge of the Air Force in the Pacific region. Now he's the head of Air Combat Command, but this is last year when he was still the head Pacific guy. He said, and this is when he was discussing Papua New Guinea, the U.S. potentially expanding bases there. He said, quote, "Obviously, we would like to disperse in as many places as we can to make the targeting problem for the Chinese as difficult as possible. A lot of those runways where we would operate from are in the Pacific Island nations," end quote. So I would say for these Pacific Island nations to heed that warning, because what he's saying is they want to turn your territory into a potential target in a future war, which would be World War III, the U.S. and China, and could end in nuclear, it could turn nuclear very quickly. So just the idea that this is what they're planning for is just really insane. At least it seems insane to me.